Here we have a whole cooked lobster in a packet with a protective ice glaze, and it's a deluxe lobster, and this is my first one. So I think it's going to be a bit of a messy business, so I'm thinking that I'm going to take it out in this tray, but we'll see. So with my trusty pair of scissors, as I predicted, it's going to be a messy business. Okay. Yeah. Don't like that at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that plastic. And let's get rid of that water, because I'm fairly sure that I'm not going to be making soup out of that. Now, as for the lobster itself, well, it's dead. It's dead, I'll give it that. So we won't have any problems with any injuries. So it's got two different claws. So is that a left-handed lobster? I nearly called it an oyster. Is it a left-handed lobster or a right-handed lobster? I don't know. So, as I've seen on YouTube, I swear, what they were saying was that you should, there's a spot just there, I think it is, where you plunge in with the knife. So, this knife has seen better days. So, I shall, that wasn't so difficult. Plunge in with the knife. And that looks like two halves of a lobster, with lots of lovely lobster meat inside. So what I'm going to do with it now, I'm not planning on presenting it like that, so I'm going to get a container to put the meat in. I'm planning on just eating it, to be honest. So, got a container to put what we've got in the lobster into the container. So I will get a spoon, smallish spoon, that I wipe. Shouldn't really need to when it comes fresh out of the drawer, but hey, nothing's perfect in life, is it? So this end of it seems to be relatively easier to It's not that easy, it's not that easy to get out. Is that the roe? Might be the roe. Because it's a female lobster, but how would I know? I don't like the look of that. So you know, anything that I don't like the look of, I'm just not going to bother with. This is more difficult than I thought it was going to be. It's supposed to be some kind of a delicacy. Well, I'm going to look at that in more detail later on. Let's just get the easy pickings. That looks better actually. There's probably a way of doing that to get it to come out in one piece. That just doesn't feel like meat at all, it feels just like cartilage, and that's more the roe, and that green stuff. That's the Tom Alley, so I've heard. Tom Alley. And I've heard that it's a delicacy of some sort. Well, it doesn't look like a delicacy to me. That really is about it for that, because everything else is just hard, unless there's some meat under that. No, not really. I mean, there's bits of it, but you'd be struggling really to pick that out. Let's have a look at these claws. Let's see if we can open up a claw. So, I haven't got anything better than a nutcracker to do that. Just give my hands a bit of a rinse down. So, the claw. Let's start on this one. So if this was a crab, I'd be thinking there's some useful meat inside that, but you need that hooky thing to get it out. Really, but I haven't got one of those. Okay, that's not going very well. It's a bit like a Brazil nut in a shell. If you can get it just right, then the nut. I splashed myself with the lobster juice, shall we call it. It doesn't look too bad. I don't think I'm going to be doing this for a living anytime soon. It doesn't look too bad. I think maybe I can just crack that a little bit there. Yep, that's just going to come off. There's a bit more inside there, but when it's going to come out, I don't know. Well, that's okay. Let's have a look at this bit. There's a bit. There's a bit. There's a bit. There's a bit. I wonder what, in the sea, I wonder what eats lobsters. What eats lobsters? Do seals eat lobsters? I don't know. I know they eat octopuses because I've seen it on YouTube. That's not so bad, that's not so bad, I'm not doing that. Whether I'm going to get another one of these, well, I'm going to say at this stage I'm going to doubt it, because this lobster's got to be really, it's got to be really spectacularly nutritious or spectacularly tasting to make me want to go through this process all over again. And it does make your fingers quite sore. So, the question arises, what am I going to do with all these mortal remains? And the answer to that is really quite simple. I'm going to put what's left of it out on my lawn. And because we get red kites around here, the red kites will come and devour it. And they'll take it all away. And I know that because I've put the remains of a crab out on the lawn, and that's all just disappeared. So how a red kite knows that a crab or lobster is good to eat, I've absolutely no idea. Unless they chat to the seagulls, I don't know, there's no seagulls around here, we're 100 miles from the sea. I think this is going to be the last bit, because when looking at that, it just, see, that's just, there's meat there, but it's mixed in with the gristle. There's so much gristle mixed in with that you couldn't possibly eat that. Well, you could if you're hungry enough, but no, it's not really the reason why you buy a lobster, I don't think. At this point, I think I'm going to call it a day. So we don't seem to really have got very much meat out of that lobster, for considering how much it cost. But there we go, my first experience with a lobster. So I shall put that in a nice sandwich and see what that tastes like. And if I like it enough, maybe I'll get another one, and maybe it will go a little bit better. Thank you very much for watching.